of stages going on, but I think already I have the best audience, right? Back to you.
Thank you, Anna, so much. Well, they call it Mythic Stage for a reason. So you guys might be wondering, BlizzCon is huge, so how is Anna going to possibly cover all of this by herself? Don't worry, we got her some help. Time to introduce you to our second BlizzCon floor correspondent, Rachel Kierko, a.k.a. Seltzer, who's standing by in the brand new Overwatch Arena. Seltzer, what's up?
Thank you so much, Michelle. Now, Anna, I know you were a little proud of your arena, but let me show you what the Overwatch Arena looks like today. It is absolutely packed with fans who are going to be watching the opening ceremonies in here and then sticking around for an incredible competition. I know, Malik, that you got to travel all around the world with the Overwatch World Cup this summer. Well, this is where it all comes down to the finals. We're going to choose the best nation in the world at Overwatch. You can see we've got Sweden and Great Britain getting ready behind us, but we've got 8 teams from all around the world. The winning team, $9,000 per player. So it's a pretty cool tournament here, but that's not the only thing that's going to be taking place, because when the open ceremonies start, that's when we find out all the news from the year. And the news pertaining to Overwatch is going to have huge ripples across the competitive scene. So as the weekend moves forward, I'm going to be checking in with some of the Overwatch personalities, as well as checking in from around the floor and talking to you fans about what you think is going on here at BlizzCon. I'm so excited to be joining you, and I will see you soon. So back to you guys at the desk.
That's
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
All right, well, Rachel, thank you so much. Let's send it over to the Blizz Couch, where Malik is standing by with Susie Kim.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I am joined by the esports veteran and BlizzCon insider, Susie Kim herself. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well.
Doing well. All right, so you are a BlizzCon insider. Please tell me, what have you been up to lately?
So for the insider portion of this, of the virtual ticket, we get to walk around, do little tours of all the halls for those at home who can't really make it here this weekend.
Right. All right, and another thing I know about you is you're actually kind of fresh back on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
How's it been being back here in the States?
Well, you know, I spent the last 10 years in South Korea, where the sports scene is big and thriving.
All right, and another thing I know about you
but you know,
is
being here in BlizzCon, there's a lot of Koreans here also competing.
Right.
Almost feels like I never left.
True talk, true talk. I mean, speaking of Korea, I think one of the cool things about the virtual ticket is that it's international. So you can check out BlizzCon's featured content in 5 different languages.
Yes, I heard about that, and Korean is definitely one of the languages that's being featured. I'm super excited for that, because Koreans love Blizzard games, and it's really hard for them to be able to fly halfway across the world to be a part of this, you know? And so with the virtual ticket being available in Korean and all the subtitles, like, it's almost like they'll be here and they get to kind of experience it with us.
All right, well, Susie, thank you so much. We're going to be keeping an eye on you and all the stuff that you're doing all over the convention. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send it back to the desk. Take it away, Alex, Michelle.
All right, Malik, thank you so much, Susie and Malik. Don't forget, you guys, if you haven't already purchased your virtual ticket, then you are watching the free preview, which only lasts through opening ceremonies. So we really want you guys to stick around. So if you're not already, head on over to BlizzCon.com and pick up your virtual ticket right now.
Correctamundo. As always, we are going to be interviewing all of your favorite game developers over the course of the next 2 days. So if you have any questions you'd like us to ask them, just tweet at us using the hashtag BlizzCon. Our first guest coming up right after opening ceremonies, it's a big one, Blizzard Entertainment President and CEO Mike Morhaime. So if you have any questions for Mike, tweet them to us now.
That's right. And let's take a live look over at the Mythic stage, because that's where we're awaiting the start of opening ceremony, now just minutes away. And I think they're about to go over to it in just a second here. But
I mean, I know it's packed because I can hear them.
I know, where are they? There's
Mythic stage.
Hey, Mythic stage. What's up? There they are. Hands in the air. That's awesome. What's up, guys? All right. Well, earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with Blizzard Entertainment co-founder Frank Fierce to get his overview on this year's show. Let's take a look.
BlizzCon 2017 is brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Intel, T-Mobile, and NVIDIA.
Oh my God, it is packed.
I know, they finally showed over there, and I think now we're going to be able to see that interview with Frank Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear what Frank's got to say.
All right.
I mean, Frank is a legend.
Yeah, I know. We actually, this is the first year I've been able to interview Frank Pierce. Normally, I interview Mike Morheim off the top of the show the last 3 years. This is my first year interviewing Frank about what he's done, what he gets to see as BlizzCon is being prepared.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of, you know, Mike. Let's get some other founders in there, please.
Right, and you know, I believe Alan Adham is actually here this year as well. So we have all 3 founders in the building. So that's going to be pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. Well, let's take a look at your interview with Frank Pierce.
All right.
Hey guys, I'm standing here with Frank Pierce, co-founder of Blizzard Entertainment. Frank, congratulations on another year of Blizzard and epic entertainment that you guys are bringing us. I know that BlizzCon has expanded once again, just physically and to the community, but for you in particular, for your job, what's the most exciting thing for you?
So I feel very fortunate in my job. I have the opportunity to see all the work in progress at the office every week. And so we've brought work in progress to the show floor for our community to see for all our products. And it's really exciting because not only does the community get to see things that they wouldn't normally get to see, but we get to interact with the community, hear their thoughts on that work in progress, take all that feedback back to the office next week and through the end of the year and figure out how we want to improve it even further.
It's pretty cool. I like how much you guys listen to the community and you're actually bringing us stuff that we ask for, you know? That's really cool. So while you're here, where do you think you're going to be hanging out the most?
So there's far too much to pick just one option, right? So we've got,
it's huge.
I'm really excited about the Overwatch World Cup and what we've done in the arena because we've got the arena set up in the round, so we're using the entirety of the arena for.
And it's gorgeous. Do you have any predictions on who will win?
No predictions, but you know, this is the U.S. home turf, so
true.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. You know, we've expanded into the North Hall. Which is a new hall for the convention center, which has allowed us to expand capacity here, which is amazing.
And that's where the Dark Moon Fair and everything is?
Yeah, Dark Moon Fair and the Hearthstone tournament stage is over there and the tavern. So that's really amazing, and it's a bit out of the way. So everyone at BlizzCon, make sure you go to North Hall. It'll take a little bit of effort to find it, but go find it.
But there's face painting. You can get like diva whiskers and everything.
Yeah,
so
it's spectacular. So I'm excited about that. All the live stages. We for the virtual ticket, everything that's taking place on all of the stages is available to everyone at home that's watching on virtual ticket, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that in particular because for me, covering the footage for the last 4 years, you know, you want people to see it. And for this time, the very first time, you guys can decide what you want to see, favorite what you want to see, kind of create a bit of a schedule to decide what you want to check out. You can check out anything at any time.
Well, and for me, I don't have to stress about making sure that I see everything all this weekend because I know I can go home next week and watch it if I missed it, which is awesome.
I'm going to be with you on that, actually. I will be watching so many panels. But speaking of, I've got to get back to our main coverage. But Frank, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great BlizzCon.
Thanks, Michelle.
All right, guys, back to the desk.
So great hearing Frank. And also, by the way, that's what we have to do. We get to go home and load up virtual ticket and watch all the panels that we didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah, it's true. I was saying it earlier with Frank, but I do love the fact that you can go through the app and just favorite which panels that you want to see.
Yeah.
And that way you can just sort of create a list so that you can go and easily find them.
Yeah.
So you can just find them later and watch them.
By the way, I love that every time we talk to somebody from Blizzard, we always ask them their favorites.
I know.
And they can never say anything. It's like, which one of your child do you love more? It's like, we can't do any of that.
No, they can't. They can't say anything.
Every
They're
time.
like, we like all of them, you know. But
yeah.
And it'd be hard, you know, to pick after 25 years of making games.
I can't even pick a favorite. All right, look, let's head it back over to the Blizz Couch for an esports preview with Malik and Blizzard Esports Operations Director Kim Fan.
Thank you very much, Alex. One of my favorite traditions is every year I get to talk to Kim. Kim, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so excited for BlizzCon this year. I am excited for every BlizzCon, but especially this one.
Right, there's a lot of stuff going on this year. A lot of esports happening. Let's just go ahead and start off with what I think is probably one of the more competitive brackets here at BlizzCon. Heroes of the Storm. What can we expect from Heroes the HGC this year?
The HGC finals, I'm most excited about the bracket. I think this is probably the best bracket that we could ask for our top 8. Every single match is going to be a very intense match, and I think the one I'm most excited to watch is probably Team Dignitas versus Team Expert.
Yes.
Really want to know who is truly like top 2 in Europe, because forever everyone says it's, you know, Fnatic and Dignitas.
Yeah,
but it was actually Fnatic and Team Expert that came in through the league play. So Dignitas had to come through playoffs.
Right. You know, a lot of people have been saying that Dignitas is kind of like the dark horse for the Heroes tournament, and they see them kind of upsetting quite a few people, including Fnatic, leading into the finals. But who knows?
But you know, Dignitas is known for their live event play.
Right.
Like they feed off of the energy of the crowd. So when they see the crowd cheering, something happens and they kick into gear and they just play amazing. So I expect them to do really well in this tournament.
All right, so what do you think about the NA having so many teams here in Heroes?
That is the other cool story. Like North America was not doing well.
We were the land of the free. We were free wins pretty much.
They were not doing well in the international tournaments for Heroes, but all 3 teams advanced into the bracket. So I was very impressed to see that. I think NA is, you know, giving everyone a run for their money.
Yeah, it warms my heart to see Tempo Storm there. They're like one of the OG big dogs of Heroes of the Storm. To see them there is so great. All right, so let's go ahead and move along to Overwatch, the Overwatch World Cup. Of course, we got a lot of pride at stake here. Who do you see, or what do you think is going to happen in that tournament?
Oh gosh, the World Cup is such a fun tournament to watch because you can cheer for your country. And I think everyone is really excited to see who and if anyone can beat the Korean team. And I believe if there's any country that can do it, it's America, USA.
Yes.
I really believe it. They have been training very hard. They have been, you know, the last 2 weeks just practicing, maybe the last month. And they're also the most confident in believing that they can beat Korea. And that match happens today. So it's the last match of the day where Korea versus USA. I really want to know if they can, you know, make it tough for the Korean player, and if they can even win.
Right. You know, so during my travels with the Overwatch World Cup, which was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, when I saw teams go up against South Korea, they were scared. A lot of them had already said it was written in the sand that they were going to lose. So to see the USA having so much confidence, it gives me confidence. Like,
I know.
Somebody might actually do this.
I think the 2 countries that really want to go up against Korea is France and USA.
Right.
But we'll see how USA fares today.
Yeah, I hope they just take a game. I would like to see them win, but if they take a game, I'll be happy, to be honest.
I'm confident they will take a game.
All right, I like that. I like that. I like that confidence. All right, so let's keep it moving. We'll go to StarCraft next. What should we expect with the WCS this year?
StarCraft has the reverse bracket. I think it's probably not the best bracket we could ask for StarCraft. It's very heavy-sided. I think the lower part of the bracket is where all of the favorites are, where all of the best Korean players are.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of favorites get knocked out.
Right. We already lost a lot of good people in group stages.
We did. We lost Neeb.
We lost Neeb,
I really wanted to see Neeb make it, but we know we have 2 great non-Korean players who are going to be facing each other off first, and that's Special from LATAM, and then also Elaser. So for sure we're going to have a non-Korean make it to the semifinals, but there's a very high chance that they can even make it to the final.
Yes, that's awesome. And also I want to shout out Innovation in there. I just want to see him get it. I want to see him get it. All right, so
I think he's the favorite to win.
Yeah, for sure. It's his to win. It's his tournament to win.
It's his tournament to win.
All right, so we're going to move along to the WoW World Championship.
Yes, WoW is WoW.
I know, right?
I'm very excited for WoW. We have a brand new stage for the World of Warcraft tournament.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
It is. I love it. And you know what? WoW is our longest standing esports championship at BlizzCon. This is our 10th year WoW 3v3 Arena championship. So it's been the longest standing esports tournament at BlizzCon. We invited 12 teams here, so that's more than last year, which was only 8. And I'm super excited that the LATAM American team and the Australia team has made it to BlizzCon so far. So we'll see how they do.
You think there's a chance of a possible three-peat? I'll say three-peat in quotes because it's kind of different teams. But
it's the same team.
It's the same guys. Yeah, the same group.
Name.
Different name, right.
Method Triforce is the team that has won the championship 2 times in a row now. So there's a really big chance that they can take a 3rd title. People may not know that they won last year. They changed their name.
Yeah,
they won
were Splice last year.
Splice.
Right.
Year before they were SK Gaming.
Right.
So now they're back as Method Triforce, and I expect to see them do really well. But you know, I'm just glad to see so many amazing WoW teams here.
Is there any dark horse team that we should be looking out for to take them out?
Oh. You know, I'm excited to see how Grumble performs.
Yes.
And
that'll be a great matchup.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good matchup too, just because they weren't expected to do well at the European Championship, and they made it to Game 5 against Method, and that was super exciting.
Right.
So we'll see how they do.
All right. Well, I would like to get on to the Hearthstone Invitational because they kind of switched up the tournament this year, but we got to keep it going because opening ceremony is coming up soon. So thank you very much, Kim. And with that, we're going to go ahead and send it back to the desk. Alex, Michelle, take it away.
Thank you so much, Malik and Kim. The Anaheim Convention Center, which has been hosting BlizzCon since 2005, just completed a major expansion this year, adding the additional brand new North Hall, resulting in, you guessed it, even more BlizzCon for fans to enjoy. I mean, they've expanded. Now the convention center is 1.2 million square feet. And that's the equivalent of 21 football fields.
Is that true?
Yeah.
21
football fields. And we're up to 11 stages.
11 stages.
So much content.
And what I heard is that the attendance was now 30,000 people.
Oh, my God. Are there 30,000 people in here right now?
Are there 30,000 people?
I'm guessing yes.
Okay.
Everybody's just so focused and ready.
I know, right? They're like, well, let's take a quick look at the map of the revamped show floor because we have a really cool map that we can take a look at here. We've got the Mythic stage that you're looking at. That's where a lot of you guys are right now. Let's hear it, Mythic stage. All right, and then next we have the World of Warcraft Championship stage, which is just gorgeous.
All of the games, all the esports got their own stages, and they are lit up. That World of Warcraft stage is gorgeous. And of course, Heroes of the Storm, the HGC finals happening for 2017, right across from us.
Yeah.
So hello, HGC.
What's up, HGC?
Yeah, there you is.
I love that we can hear all of them. And next up, we have that StarCraft World Championship Series Global Finals stage. What's going on, StarCraft?
The grandfather of it all.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
of course, that hot, sexy new Overwatch arena. So sad we're not going to be able to hang out in there.
I wish right now that they were so loud that we could hear them all the way over here.
And if you want, why don't you travel your little footsies over to, boom, us right here, the All Access broadcast stage. I mean, look, come by, say hi.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to do except this live show.
About just chill, yeah.
So what have you guys been up to over the last year?
What have you been doing,
Malik?
You've been all over the world.
All types of esports stuff. I traveled the world with the Overwatch World Cup. That was awesome. I got to go to Shanghai, China, Sydney, Australia, Katowice, Poland. It was dope. It was dope. I got to see the best Overwatch players in the world, take all their tips, apply them to my gameplay. I made myself better.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
It was dope. But you guys have been pretty busy too, right?
Yeah. I've been doing some stuff with esports. I kind of took all the experiences that I had and observations, and I created an esports scripted comedy for everyone to enjoy called Good Game, and I even got it produced with Dan Harmon.
That's fantastic.
What about you, dude?
Absolutely prepping for this show.
Yeah.
No Diablo?
But yeah, I thought you were going pro.
Nah.
I
tried to go Diablo Pro. It just didn't work out.
No sponsors?
No sponsors. Nobody wanted me anymore.
Soon, hashtag Alex.
D3 Pro soon.
All right, well, before we head over to the opening ceremonies, we want to tell you guys a little bit about the new and improved BlizzCon mobile app that we've been talking a little bit about. So whether you're here at BlizzCon or you're watching at home, the BlizzCon mobile app will help you make the most out of your BlizzCon experience with streaming panels and videos, interactive event schedule, the hall maps like we had just showed you. You're gonna have esports updates as well. And that you can even use the BlizzCon mobile app after the show is over. Like we've been saying, I think it's about for a 1 month so that you can relive everything that's happened here.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is about time. We are heading it over to Mythic Stage for opening ceremonies of BlizzCon 2017.
I first discovered Blizzard games when I was 13. I was young as hell.
Warcraft 1 for me.
Oh, you're old.
Yes, I'm old.
I've been a gamer since childhood, before I could even spell.
My parents promoted a culture of video game love, and I am a product of that culture.
Kind of been something we've been doing since we were little kids.
You know, just to spend time together.
The person who drew me to it was my dad. He'd scoop me up and put me in his lap, and he'd have me read his combat logs.
WoW is certainly my jam.
I'm currently Alliance.
Alliance.
Horde.
For the Horde!
For the Horde!
Diablo 3.
StarCraft was kind of the thing we could get into. And
It's our Super Bowl.
I'm a Grandmaster player in Heroes of the Storm.
So I started playing Hearthstone, and then it was like I was pulling over my car to play a match of Hearthstone.
He was the first one who played Overwatch.
That's true. Everybody has a story around the games.
Without Blizzard, my whole high school experience would have been completely different. I made friends for life playing StarCraft 2.
We met in World of Warcraft.
Playing Heroes of the Storm professionally has really been a life-changing experience for me.
I first started playing Blizzard games in the Navy. You know, it was a good way of just kind of unwinding.
Games defined me, like almost entirely.
Tauren, Bear Druid for life.
My only tattoo is on my right arm right here.
It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like.
A Blizzard gamer could look like anything, anyone.
I don't date bronze players.
Blizzard is like an open, inclusive, positive, wonderful community.
You're playing with millions of other people around the world.
I'm from a super small town in Germany called Lübbenau.
My sister and I, since she moved to Italy, we started the tradition of playing Heroes of the Storm in Christmas skins. If I'm playing with my mom, it's kind of like taking a stroll down the beach together, except we're in World of Warcraft.
Your friends are global.
Germany, France, Spain.
Hi, Mom, hi, Dad.
It's obviously a community or even a family.
They're there to like connect with you. You know, emotional support if you need it.
Our son, who's 7, he's a massive Warcraft fan. He came to BlizzCon last year. He's fully dressed as King Lane. He was very shy, but when everybody gathered around him, giving him high fives, really got him out of his shell that whole day.
We lived in different states, and at night we would get together and kind of crawl through dungeons. Playing Diablo every day and playing Overwatch every day really brought us closer as sisters.
My father taught me how to play video games. That was our time, and when I was a teenager, I lost him suddenly. To keep his memory alive, I kept playing video games. It was the only way I could keep him close.
These are games that I shared with my wife and now that I share with my kids.
It feels like a family within a family.
That's been such an amazing thing to see how many people have learned from games, how many people have connected from games.
And when you look at BlizzCon, it even transcends the games themselves.
Because it's become the place that I see all of my friends and I share all those experiences.
Last BlizzCon, so last year, he proposed to me by the orc statue.
The Horde symbol's on the side.
And I said yes.
The couple that plays together is the couple that stays together.
This year will be my first time attending BlizzCon.
You will bleed Blizzard blue for the rest of your life.
When you see someone who is another Overwatch cosplayer or something like that, it's like, oh.
It gives me the opportunity to be a little wilder than I normally would be.
It brings together a wide range of people that you normally wouldn't see together.
Like a big-ass family.
Blizzard is friends.
Friendship.
Community.
Generations.
Blizzard brings people together.
Together.
Family.
It's such a family thing for us.
There's always people that are as excited and passionate about it as you are.
The connections that you make in the Blizzard community are lifelong connections.
And they always will be there.
Games and people together.
It's awesome to feel like you're really part of a huge community.
You really do feel like you belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President and CEO of Blizzard Entertainment, Mike Morhaime.
Hello, BlizzCon! Is the Alliance here? How about the Horde? Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. Adventures in Hearthstone. Heroes of Sanctuary. Heroes of the Storm. How about my Heroes of Overwatch? All of you, welcome to BlizzCon 2017. It feels so good to be back at BlizzCon. Okay, I'm going to keep with tradition and ask, how many of you here are attending BlizzCon for the very first time? And how many of you have been to BlizzCon before? How many of you have been to at least 5 BlizzCons? Well, I am grateful to be back. Thank you for being here and choosing to spend the next 2 days with us. I still can't believe it, but this is our 11th BlizzCon. That's right. This one goes to 11. This is our biggest show yet. We have more panels, games, activities, tournaments, and the most attendees of any BlizzCon ever. There are more than 30,000 of you here in Anaheim, and millions more are tuning in from home. Once again, we have taken over the entire convention center. There is even a brand new building, and we've taken over that as well. In fact, some of you are watching the opening ceremony from there. Let's give them a big shout of hello. Hello! We have some of our new game content there. We also have Hearthstone Esports, the Hearthstone Tavern, and much more over there. Just head towards Hall A, go upstairs, and you'll see the signs. You really have to check it out. So, we have changed up the opening ceremony. Many of you are here with me in Hall D, but thousands of you are watching from across the convention center, in the arena, and as I mentioned, in the new building. In addition to this stage, we will have developers join in and showcase their announcements from a few different stages across the convention center. So we're trying something new this year. Let's hope it works. We have come from far and wide. All 50 states and more than 50 different countries are represented here at BlizzCon. And people from more than 170 countries are tuning in through the virtual ticket. But no matter who we are or where we're from, we are all here for the same reasons. We have a shared love of games and their stories and characters. And most of all, we're here because of the relationships we've built and fostered through gaming. I am very honored to have been part of this community and to have watched it grow. This year, the Blizzard community is bigger than ever, with over 40 million players logging in each month across all of our games. All right, a ton has happened in the past year. In World of Warcraft, we went all the way to Argus on our quest to save Azeroth. In Hearthstone, we traveled from Gadgetzan to Ongoro and even returned as Death Knights atop the Frozen Throne. We raised the dead, again, with the Necromancer in Diablo 3. And we went into battle with awesome new heroes and maps in Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, and StarCraft 2. We also renewed our passion for a classic Blizzard game with StarCraft Remastered. And this past week, for the first time ever, we welcomed a non-Blizzard game onto the Battle.net platform with Destiny 2. Do we have any Guardians out there? Now let's talk about esports. Last BlizzCon, we unveiled plans for our most ambitious project yet in competitive gaming, the Overwatch League. Since then, we have partnered up with a dynamic array of leaders from both esports and traditional sports. And our first season will include 12 teams based in cities around the world. We'll be broadcasting the first season out of the new state-of-the-art studio, Blizzard Arena Los Angeles. The new Blizzard Arena will be a place that we can come together to witness exciting moments and memories in Overwatch and other Blizzard esports all year round. It's awesome. This has been an amazing year with a ton of esports action. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Stanudachi, the happiest man in the room.
He is your global champion,
days of Hearthstones in Shanghai?
Look at that smile. It's a spring champion.
Welcome to LA.
South Korea takes its rightful place in Hearthstone esports.
And China looks like they will just have a cakewalk here on Dorado.
Hometown heroes of Australia.
We're in overtime, 99-99. There it is! What a performance. Poland, the home team taking on South Korea. From Jae-Hong taking him out of the fight, and South Korea takes it.
The road to the World Cup Championship, Team USA going against Team Germany.
The melee just in time, and the US, they've done it. They are going to BlizzCon.
Lunatic High! Twice in a row, back-to-back championships, and they start a dynasty.
This is just the beginning of the action. Live from the Blizzard Arena, massive congratulations to Giganti.
It is time for the grand final.
If he goes in, and this could be game. They do it, Dignitas.
One final map here for the World Championship.
It is Shrimpy pops off. Fnatic has done it.
The time has come. MVP Black versus L5.
L5, they will be your Eastern Clash champions.
UT Arlington never stopped believing.
They are your heroes of the door.
Looney's doing everything in his power. That's it. Evo are going to BlizzCon. Looking to take this series at time. Method are your champions.
Jurius gets mind control to a terrible position.
Method Synergy is the best team in North America.
Bandit Global are going to BlizzCon.
I Am Katowice gives us some of the best StarCraft that we will ever see.
And that is GG! And now, the GSL's finals. Stats has done it! Gumiho has forced history to repeat itself. Innovation! GSL Odes champion!
Team is looking to get a victory moment.
And he is a three-time WCS champion.
The Laser is your WCS champion.
BlizzCon is loaded with esports. The Hearthstone Invitational has 12 of your favorite pros and streamers competing as teams in a set of challenges. The Overwatch World Cup will have the top countries in the world battling for the gold medal. If you're looking for World Championship events, we've got those too. The World of Warcraft Arena World Championship, the Heroes Global Championship Finals, and the StarCraft II WCS Global Finals will all crown world champions who have earned their place after a year's worth of competition. We're also hosting a thrilling exhibition match for StarCraft Remastered featuring two legendary players, Bisu and Jae-Dong. And this year, we've built brand new stages for World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and StarCraft II. Speaking of StarCraft II esports, Intel announced this morning that they will host a tournament in Pyeongchang leading into the Winter Games. This tournament will feature StarCraft II. This is an amazing honor for the game and wonderful recognition for esports. We're very proud to be part of it. We've got some cool StarCraft II game updates to share with you as well. The newest co-op commander in the game is actually two characters in one, Mira Han and Matt Horner. We're showcasing them here at BlizzCon, along with a new co-op mission called Part and Parcel. That's playable in the StarCraft area in Hall A, so go check it out. And there's another thing I want to mention about StarCraft II. You have helped make it one of the best-selling, highest-rated PC games in history, and your support is why we continue to create new content for it. We are always looking for ways to help you get new friends into the game and bring old friends back as well. So I'm very excited to announce that we're making StarCraft II free to play. Starting on November 14th, everyone will get the full Wings of Liberty campaign. And if you already own Wings of Liberty, we're going to give you Heart of the Swarm. In addition, everyone will get access to the full StarCraft II ranked ladder. And we're also improving co-op mode with free access to every co-op commander in the game up to level 5. For more details, be sure to check out the StarCraft II panel in the North Hall today or visit StarCraft2.com. We have more to announce this morning, but I want to take a moment. BlizzCon isn't only about the games and the announcements. It's also about the relationships we create and strengthen when we come together. I continue to be amazed at the incredible stories people share of friendships and strong connections that have grown through our love for gaming. There are no strangers at BlizzCon, only friends you haven't met yet. This is the most incredible family reunion in the world. Our community has grown tremendously over the last few years, and we're welcoming in a lot of new people into our family. I encourage you to welcome them online and especially here at the show. Let's show them what a special community this is, a community of shared values and shared passions. There's a lot of craziness out in the world, but we don't have to let that be part of our world. If we make an effort to be kind and welcoming to people in our games and in our community, we will make a positive impact. And that positivity will trickle back out into the wider world. A friend of mine once said, "Never accept the world as it appears to be. Dare to see it for what it could be." All right, everyone. We've got a really great event planned for you. Blizzard employees are looking forward to connecting with you throughout the show. Look for us in the blue shirts. We have the awesome community contest tonight, hosted by Chris Hardwick. And tomorrow, Muse will be here. We have a lot more news to share, so I'm going to hand it off to K.O. Milker from the Heroes of the Storm team.
Hello, BlizzCon. And hi, everybody watching at home on the stream. I missed you. Hey, thanks, Mom. So much has happened. So much has happened in the Nexus since I was on this stage with you last year. And thanks to the feedback and support from all of you in our community, we've continued to expand and evolve Heroes of the Storm together. With Heroes 2.0 in April, we uncapped level progression and opened up all of the game's content as rewards every time you level a hero. Now, Heroes 2.0 was the biggest moment for our game yet. It was even bigger than our original launch. So I want to thank everyone who came in to check out all of that great content with us. Thank you. But of course, new content is the lifeblood of our game. And since launching in 2015, we've doubled the number of battlegrounds and more than doubled the number of heroes, with 15 new heroes added since last BlizzCon alone. Yeah. So those of you who were with us know that we've had a very busy year with some incredible additions to our heroes roster. But we're not done yet. Now, the coolest thing I get to do up here is debut a new cinematic. So let's see which new heroes have arrived to explore the secrets of the Nexus.
Impressive, Archer. But You'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything.
Yield!
You show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
It's amazing getting to experience something like that with you for the first time. And I love getting to see Alex Straza and Hanzo together in Dragonshire testing one another. And you definitely get the feeling that something is stirring in the Nexus as well. So Alex Straza, the Lifebinder, is a versatile range support who manipulates her life energy to heal her allies. And when her life or those of her teammates is threatened, she can transform into a mighty dragon using her trait, Dragon Queen. And for all of you Hanzo mains out there, I see you, rejoice, because the Shimada clan's most dangerous archer is a nimble ranged assassin who can deal damage from afar and serve as a nimble scout for his team. So in addition to bringing these two iconic dragons to the Nexus, we also have some other exciting news to share with you at BlizzCon. You see, while Heroes 2.0 was our time to reimagine progression and rewards in our out-of-game experience, we're also turning our eye towards improving our core in-game experience as well. Now, I brought along a video that will not only show you our double dragons in-game, but also gives you a taste of some of the big changes to come.
I am Hanzo Shimada. Nuga waga teki wo kurau!
It's so cool to see Alex Straza and Hanzo in action, and I can't wait for all of you to get to play them and experience our 2018 gameplay update. Yeah. All right, I'm also really excited about bringing performance-based matchmaking to the game, because it rethinks our traditional win-loss-based system and lets your personal performance in matches directly influence your matchmaking rating, whether you win or lose. Yeah. So we know how important that is to our community, and we've heard your feedback, so please keep it coming. Now, no doubt you have some questions about our new heroes and the 2018 gameplay update, so for all the details on that and more, please check out the Heroes of the Storm What's Next panel today and our deep dive panel tomorrow. And of course, for all of you here at BlizzCon, our new heroes and the gameplay changes are playable out on the show floor, so please go try them out and let us know what you think. And for all of us, what better way to wrap this year than to see the best players in the world at the Heroes Grand Championship or Global Championship World Finals tomorrow night. I know I can't wait to see these teams battle it out this weekend. All right. Okay, BlizzCon, we have some incredible things coming for you all in the next year. And while we'll be bringing you epic content and unforgettable heroes, we also have plans to dive deeper into events that are unfolding in the Nexus. We can't wait to share that and so much more with you. But in the meantime, thank you for inspiring us to make Heroes of the Storm bigger and better than ever, and we'll see you in the Nexus. All right, now it's my pleasure to hand it off to Hearthstone's game director, Ben Brode, over on the Hearthstone stage.
BlizzCon! What up? Well met. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Okay, all right. Yeah, this is awesome. I've never done the opening ceremony before. This is crazy. All right, listen. If you love Hearthstone like I do, this is going to be the best BlizzCon yet. We outgrew the convention center. They had to build us a brand new hall. I'm standing here on the legendary Hearthstone esports stage where the Invitational will take place later this weekend. You get it. The Hearthstone Tavern is back and bigger than ever. Come stop by for a drink or to challenge one of the Hearthstone developers. I think it's one of the coolest things at BlizzCon. Listen, this has been an awesome year for Hearthstone. We journeyed into Ungoro Crater. We joined the Lich King and became Knights of the Frozen Throne. And today, you're going to see the final set in the Year of the Mammoth. It comes out next month, and it takes us back to the roots of classic fantasy, full of monsters, treasures, and traps. It brings back memories of sitting around a table, gaming with your buddies, delving deep into dark dungeons. Get ready for Hearthstone's next expansion.
Legends tell of a vast underground world and the countless treasures that lie in store for worthy adventurers. You've signed up the best, you're on a great quest to find the mighty Mother Lode. There's treasure galore, but perils in store and construction that isn't up to code. Trespass with care, there's sure to be something rare. You can grab all the loot that you can handle. Such riches you'll own, but leave one thing alone.
You know, take candle.
And if you steal the light, you then must take flight, eluding each hazard and each strife. It's a chaotic race as the monsters give chase, and all the while you're trying to follow the map. they're gaining on you. Your options are few, and you fear that you're never gonna get home. You sought after wealth, will you lose all your health to kobolds and catacombs?
It's kobolds and catacombs!
I love this set. It's awesome. Kobold tunnels full of treasure. This is our love letter to that classic fantasy dungeon crawling vibe. So what kind of cards can you expect from Kobolds and Catacombs? I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you discover the set for yourselves. Steel yourselves, adventurers. We're going in. Okay. You're in the entrance to a dungeon on a quest to find legendary treasure. To your left is a tunnel. Stinky goo lines the floors and walls. To your right is a massive door with a huge lock. But the lock is broken. Where do you want to go? Okay. All right. Cheer if you want to go into the tunnel. All right, now cheer if you want to go in the door. Okay, I think I heard tunnel louder, I think. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go left. We're gonna go left, right? Okay. All right, we're gonna go left to the Stinky Goo tunnel. All right, great, okay, let's go. All right, so you slide through the tunnel and enter a room with a huge ooze creature lying dead on the floor. Prying a chest from its remains is the legendary adventurer, Marin the Fox. So Marin will spawn a chest, and if you can break the chest open, you'll earn one of the craziest cards we've ever made in Hearthstone, cards like Toland's Goblet. Draw a card, fill your hand with copies of it. It's pretty crazy. All right. Marin is so excited to join your party that he's coming out way before the rest of the set. Everyone who logs in starting Monday will get Marin the Fox for free. Also, everyone here at BlizzCon or watching at home via the virtual tickets will also get a golden copy. Okay, back to the dungeon. Marin winks at you and escapes with the treasure. You see two doors in front of you. To your left is a door with a sign on it that says, Kobold Treasure Hoard, adventurers keep out. To your right is a door with the words certain death scrawled on it. Where do you want to go? Why? Okay. We're gonna go right. Okay, we're gonna go right. You guys are bold. All right. Let's go. Let's check it out. Okay, so your party enters the room, and as you do, the walls start closing in, crushing half of your party. What did you expect? All right. So, okay, everybody from here to here, you're all dead. All right. On the bright side, you found another new card, Crushing Walls. Destroy your opponent's left and rightmost minions. This is a hunter card. Okay, well, you guys are gonna have to recruit some new party members to finish the dungeon. Fortunately, the new keyword in Kobolds and Catacombs is recruit. All right, so recruit means that you'll pull a minion directly out of your deck and put it directly into the battlefield. So imagine pulling Ysera for only 6 mana. Should make a pretty good healer for your party, I think. All right. You can tell that you're close to finding the legendary treasure. This next decision is very important. To your left is a hallway, and claw marks mar the entrance. To your right is another hall that is literally on fire. Okay, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Okay, all right. If you want to go left, cheer. How about right? Okay, we're gonna go right. We're gonna go right. All right, let's go. So you run through the hallway, burning away most of your clothes, and you enter a room filled with kobold candles surrounding a pedestal with a glowing disc atop it. It's the legendary treasure you were searching for, the priest card, Dragon Soul. Yes, this is Hearthstone's first legendary weapon. Every time you cast 3 spells, you'll summon a huge dragon. We've made legendary weapons for all 9 classes, even ones that have never had weapons before. I'm super excited about these 9 cards. They're crazy. BlizzCon, congratulations on completing the dungeon and escaping with the legendary treasure. Good job. Well done. Unfortunately, you missed some of the cards in the dungeon, so you'll have to come to the panel later today to see the things you didn't get to explore, check out some of the other cards and the other mechanics in Kobolds and Catacombs. So, look, there was a reason I ran you through a dungeon, and it wasn't just to kill this half of the room. We also have a new single-player experience, and it's nothing like what we've done in the past. This time, we're introducing a totally new single-player mode, and it's called the Dungeon Run. So a dungeon run is all about defeating bosses, collecting loot, and leveling up your character. And in a Kobolds and Catacombs dungeon run, we'll shuffle up an 8-card boss deck, and you'll defeat 8 random bosses. And each time you defeat a boss, you'll learn some new cards for your deck. You start with a lowly 10-card deck. You'll learn some new cards for your deck, increasing your power each game. If you lose, we throw your deck away, and you have to start all over from the beginning with a new strategy. It's essentially a Hearthstone roguelike, and it's our most replayable single-player content ever. Also, it's completely free. It's totally separate from your normal collection. You don't need any cards to play. Come check it out here. We're here in the North Hall, and our demo station's over there. Come try it. I think you're gonna love it. It's awesome. All right. Don't forget to come to the panel later today to see the cards that you missed in the dungeon run and some of the other new mechanics in the set. The team is so excited about Kobolds and Catacombs. We cannot wait to share the set with you and the new dungeon run mode when it comes out next month. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce someone who I personally have run a bunch of dungeons with in my time. From the Overwatch Arena, Jeff Kaplan.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Overwatch Arena. I think the arena is absolutely amazing. We're going to be here. Yeah, it is. Let's hear it for the arena. And you guys are amazing. We want to say a special hello to everybody watching at home, everybody here at BlizzCon, whatever hall you're in, give it up for everybody watching at home right now. And for you guys who are here with us today, we can't thank you enough. It's amazing to have you here in Anaheim, California. California is my home state. I think it's the best state in the entire union. We have everything here. If it's not in California, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. We have I said it, that's right. We have the most beautiful mountains. We have the most beautiful beaches. Right outside these doors, right in front of me, there's even a theme park. Now, how many of you who are here in California with us for the weekend are going to also hit up the theme park? Now, it gets me wondering sometimes, and it gets the Overwatch team wondering, have you ever imagined what a Blizzard theme park might look like? The Overwatch team certainly has, and I present to you now Blizzard World. Let's check it out.
Where you took your first steps in Azeroth. Where you confronted the Lord of Terror himself. Where you spawned your first Zergling rush. Sometimes, epic memories can only be made in an epic world. Your adventure, your community, your memories. See them come alive in your world. Blizzard World.
Epic fun detected.
Well met. Stay a while and listen to the fireworks. Come and visit Blizzard World. New adventures are waiting for you.
I can't wait to get on some rides.
For the Horde!
Yeah, we did it. We went there. We had so much fun making this map, but the super fun part for us in making a map is seeing what you guys do on it. So we cannot wait for you to be playing this map. You'll be playing it all weekend here at BlizzCon. Also, the map will be going live early next year, and you'll see it on the PTR very, very soon. So the map is awesome. We had a ton of fun making it. It's a hybrid map, so that means it's part assault and part payload. Now, I know most of you don't know what payload is, so everybody turn to the Zenyatta main to your left, and he'll figure it out. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about what payload means. Now, one thing we always say about Overwatch is that the world needs heroes. And the Overwatch team thinks that you guys need another hero. I would like to announce and to introduce you to Moira. She speaks for herself. Let's check her out.
We are bedeviled by the mysteries of creation. Science can reveal the truths that lie behind these many questions. What we learn can unlock the true potential of humanity. To the shadows. Tell me how this feels. Come to me and I will heal you. I will unmake you. Simple geometry.
Lights out.
Surrender to my will. Allow me to repair the damage. I feel unstoppable. My will made real.
There she is. Moira is our newest support healer. Now, I know a lot of you were begging for a DPS, but we made a healer instead, so I hope you're okay with that. She is so much fun to play. She does a tremendous amount of healing. She also can do a tremendous amount of damage as well. So she's really fun and interactive to play. She has that fade ability, so that gives her great mobility as a support character as well. In case you're wondering how to spell Moira, it's spelled O-P-A-F, just in case you're wondering. So there's some other cool notes about Moira that we should talk about. She has a really great backstory as well. Not only was she a part of Reyes's secretive Black Watch, she also has a storied history with Talon. Now, you guys are going to learn all about Moira, Blizzard World, and maybe even another announcement in the Overwatch What's Next panel. It's going to be on the Mythic stage at 2:45 today. I cannot encourage you enough to check out that panel. We even have an origin video for Moira that will be debuting during that panel. And Moira's fully playable here on the show floor in Blizzard World all weekend long. And dare I say, it's no limits. Oh my God, it's going to be a mess, but you'll have so much fun.
Excuse me, Mr. Kaplan. I'm here to deliver the payload.
What is this?
Hammer down! Candy! 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 I'm coming, my friend! You wait right there, it's a long way! I live for this!
Hi! Darren DePaul, voice actor for Reinhardt.
Once again, Halloween not popular in my neighborhood. 3 kids. 3. Jeff, Candy?
Yeah, thanks.
There you go. I'm here because Blizzard changed my life as an actor, as a person. You guys have been amazing to me. I remember exactly where I was standing a couple BlizzCons ago when Overwatch was first announced, because I didn't even know it was called Overwatch. That first session, you didn't tell me anything.
We didn't tell you.
It was like a line drawing of Reinhardt with the helmet off. And so there was the first animated short, and I was going, a gorilla from the moon? I think I'm in that. And then they showed the gameplay trailer where they announced all the heroes. And I didn't hear me. And the last guy to come around was Reinhardt. And it was my birthday, so thank you. Happy birthday to me on that one. And now, guys, we're here. And we're all part of this amazing community because, thank you. More cry. I am going to cry. Crying is my ultimate, I will cry. But you guys have taken these characters and these worlds to your hearts and to your minds. They have inspired you. We've seen amazing cosplay. We've seen spectacular fan art. And of course, there are the animated shorts that are jaw-droppingly wonderful. And what we've seen Mei science her way out of a problem. We've seen the rivalry between Genji and Hanzo. We've seen Bastion be so just darn cute and lovable. So now, as a friend of mine might say, bring me another! Let's go, man.
I thought we talked about this. You don't have to do this anymore. Winston's message wasn't meant for you. This isn't your fight. Papa told me, after so many years of service, you gave Overwatch everything, and then they pushed you out. Why would you go back to them? What are you still fighting?
So, that's it. You're leaving us.
I have been called. I must answer. It is a great honor.
To disappear into some secret organization. Give up the glory of being a crusader? I don't think so.
He wishes he got picked.
The Crusaders are immortal defenders of Germany. People will be singing songs about our legacies.
Our legacies are our deeds. And this war is bigger than all of us.
Dropouts to the east, they're coming! All right, people, they're playing our song. Stick with your dance partners. Let's crush those rust buckets.
Here's your walking stick, old man.
Live with honor.
Die with glory.
We workers, run! Rocket up! Fire!
I love the wind in my hair.
Get back and protect your team!
Ah, they're just slowing me down. Ah! Besides, they're fine!
Where is Reinhardt?
What is that?
That is mine!
Damn it, Reinhardt! Reinhardt!
Marvel sings!
We're being overrun! Fall back to the rally point! I'll get Reinhardt!
I had this.
Obviously. They're cutting us off! Let's move! That door won't hold. Get back to the unit. I will hold them off.
And let you have all the glory? We will fight our way back together!
No. I'm staying here.
But without you...
Lieutenant! You took an oath to be a crusader. Now, keep it.
I won't leave you!
The team needs you. Be their shield. Reinhardt, live with honor.
Die with glory, old friend.
must answer. Always.
Please welcome executive producer of World of Warcraft, J. Allen Brack.
Team Overwatch. Amazing, emotional piece. Thanks for setting me up. A very difficult job to come out to. I do want to talk about another game, one that also has amazing shoulder pads. Before we get started, I want to channel an old friend. Horde, where are you? Alliance, let me hear you! All right. Thank you. I'm grateful to have been given the opportunity to be with you today. This is a really special day for me. This is a really special day for the team. To everyone here watching online, watching in the BlizzCon halls, we're here to talk about what's new for World of Warcraft. It has been a pretty incredibly epic year for the WoW community. We've seen old heroes fall and new ones rise. We adventured on the Broken Shore. We conquered Suramar. We watched the defeat of Gul'dan and Illidan crush his skull. And more awaits us on Argus, the confrontation with Sargeras, a titan at the heart of Warcraft lore. We will be watching the community, and we'll be waiting on that world first. Now, before I get to the big news, I want to take a minute. And I want to talk about ice cream. Ice cream is great. Ice cream is one of my favorite desserts. Personally, I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my all-time favorite dessert. But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
Someone once said that you can't go home again, but they lacked vision. And a temporal discombobulator.
Fans of World of Warcraft around the world, we hear you. I am pleased and also a little bit nervous to announce the development of a classic server option for World of Warcraft. This is a larger endeavor than you might imagine, but we are committed to making an authentic, Blizzard-quality classic experience. We want to reproduce the game experience that we all enjoyed from the original classic WoW, not the actual launch experience. So please bear with us. It's going to take some time, but it will happen. Now, I love you too. Now, I'm sure all of you remember the original WoW server blades that we auctioned off for charity a few years ago. We're probably going to need those back. Speaking of charity, in all seriousness, you all showed great support when we launched Shadow, the charity pet, ahead of schedule to help with disaster relief around the world. You've all donated very generously. It's always exciting to see the Horde and Alliance working together. Today, I am pleased to reveal that we've also created an IRL version of Shadow available later this month. Sales of the Shadow plushie, adorable. Sales of the Shadow plushie through the end of the year will go to the same global disaster relief efforts. I speak for everyone at Blizzard when I say it makes a difference. You know, the annual charity contribution is one of the many symbols of the WoW community. And in total, you have all donated over $15 million to charitable causes over the years. So thank you for your help. I mentioned we had some news. Players are now actively fighting on Argus, homeworld of the Burning Legion. But soon, that chapter will come to an end. Deep rivalries between the factions lingers. After all, you members of the Horde, you came to Azeroth in search of nothing more than a home. And that is a journey that the Alliance has shown little respect for. Am I right, Horde? And Alliance, you do not forget the broken shore. You do not forget the betrayal that led to the death of your own King Varian. Animosity between the Horde and the Alliance remains strong. And from these deep wounds between the factions will flow the next story in the chapter of Azeroth. This is the story. Horde versus Alliance. Wounds that can never be healed. This is the beginning of the next expansion. Let's take a look at the features.
My father once told me that peace was like a dream. Beautiful, ephemeral, unattainable. I didn't listen. No one listened. We've made kindling from our suffering, stirred the embers of resentment, just waiting for a single spark to set the whole world aflame. As the Alliance returns to forgotten kingdoms, the Horde seeks the might of an ancient empire. any longer. The time has come to call on allies willing to join the fight, to rally beneath the banners of a world at war.
Welcome to the new expansion. I heard some of you obviously spot Jaina, our favorite human mage. Or is Khadgar our favorite human mage? I'm not sure. Okay. Battle for Azeroth will make you prouder than ever to declare your allegiance to the Noble Alliance. Battle for Azeroth will call on you to rally in support of the mighty Horde. The stakes have never been higher. Now, more than ever, your faction matters. You're wondering about everything else you just saw. Islands, war fronts, and allied races. We can't wait to tell you about all that and more during our panels this weekend, starting right here at 12:30, right here. Game director Ian, creative director Alex will be here doing a deep dive for everything that's next with World of Warcraft. And it wouldn't be BlizzCon if you couldn't get your hands on some new content right now. Battle for Azeroth is playable here on the show floor for everyone at BlizzCon. We've also recorded some special videos of the BlizzCon experience, the BlizzCon demo experience for everyone watching with the virtual ticket. We have one more thing for you. Normally, we would announce the expansion, we would show the logo, and then later, much later, we would show you the intro cinematic. But this year is a little bit different. Now, before we roll this piece, I want to tell you that a lot of love has gone into everything that you're about to see here. So, on behalf of the thousands of people that work on World of Warcraft around the world, it is our great honor to share with you the intro cinematic for Battle for Azeroth.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
Have a great BlizzCon. Be good to one another. Have fun. Welcome home.
This concludes our opening ceremonies. Mythic Stage's panel presentations resume at 12:30 p.m. with World of Warcraft, What's Next? Have a great BlizzCon.
Brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Intel, T-Mobile, and NVIDIA.
Everybody, joining us now is Blizzard Entertainment President and CEO Mike Morhaime. Mike, every year I think you can't get crazier than last.
I'm just still a little bit overwhelmed from that cinematic. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean that has to be one of my favorite cinematics that we've done.
Oh, wait, bringing it back. That slow, long.
Blizzard has always been so good about hearing what the community wants. Hearing what the community wants, which is about BlizzCon, which is about the community, bigger and better than ever. How do you guys decide to take feedback from the community?
We're always listening to feedback. We're always listening to feedback. But classic server feedback, the classic server feedback, a really difficult technical challenge for us. Technical challenge for us. And so the team really, the team really to assess feasibility and how we would do this. And how we would do this, if we're going to do something like that, we need to do it in a Blizzard quality way. An experience that people are really going to be able to play. A polished experience, and you remember back in vanilla days. A lot of challenges, a lot of challenges. You can't just go back to that original code. You can't just go back to that original code. You don't want to open the. You
don't want to open the game.
California to find the 2017 world champion of StarCraft 2. We'll be going over the round of 8 up to the grand finals from today until tomorrow. I am joined by three lovely gentlemen. Jeff, in control Robinson, how are you today, Robinson? How are you today, sir?
It's going to be a great day of competition. It's going to be a great day of competition. I had another thing to say, but I decided to keep it professional.
Appreciate it. Keeping it professional. Appreciate it. How are you doing? Rotterdam, how are you doing?
It's always fun to be here, man. It's always fun to be here. See all these beautiful stages, meet all these lovely people, but at the end of the day, Nate, I'm ready for some StarCraft.
There's a lot of StarCraft to come, and also joining us is Artosis. Dan, how good is it to be up here with us, kicking off BlizzCon?
I mean, BlizzCon is the best event of the entire year. Look at this crazy stage that we have right now. Absolutely beautiful. Our top 8 is out of control. I got all my friends here to talk about my favorite game. I mean, this is the best thing that there is.
Not much more you could ask for there, of course. We're going to be going through, as I said, the round of 8. We had 16 players qualified throughout the Korean circuits as well as the WCS circuit all around the globe. If you missed the round of 16 action last week, we played up in Burbank to decide the top 8. We've got a nice recap video to get you up to speed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the World Championship Series Global Finals.
Game number 1, stats versus special. Definitely a match where we have an underdog, but it's going to be tough.
And this is a great beginning for special here. He looks like he's primed to win. He's getting closer and closer. He's unpowered now the Robo, and that's going to be it. GG! Getting as many lings out as he can, but TY, make no mistake, is pushing the end of this game here.
Piling on the aggression. In the end, Nurtio does crumble. Infestors still trying to do what they can here, but Broodlords are starting to die in Infestors as well. I think Neeb's got it.
That's it! GG is called!
Stats is able to survive. Snoot 2-1. 2 of the top old school Zergs from Europe going to be the first players eliminated from the global finals.
I see Kellisor just pushing forward for the win here. He's stimming on in, tying it up 1 apiece here. And everything's folded up here in the third. The front door was open. The Banelings get rid of everything. And Dark takes a 2-1 victory over Kellisor.
These lanes are just so ripped. There goes the orbital as well. That's it. Innovation says I've had enough of these shenanigans. The multi-prong attack that could be decided right now. So much innovation, and the supply differential is just too much.
44 Stalkers right now for Hero. And yes, Hydralisks are good, but they ain't that good.
He's just going to have to tap out any second here. He's down to 0.
The Needless count very low, trying to kill off the rest of these Hydras, but I don't know if that's even going to be possible. The third base falls, and Cyril has killed True 2-0.
This is like one of these classic battles of teacher and student.
Slow and steady, but Special is actually turning up the heat here.
Oh, Neeb is out of position. He doesn't have vision of the bottom of his ramp. That's going to allow these forces of Su to get up the ramp.
And that unstoppable macro from Innovation, just so scary here. All of the Zerglings have actually gone down. Hero might just barely have the numbers to break through. Dark fighting for his life right now.
DY is taking so much damage. Something is this it?
He has no army. He's like half the army.
GG!
Not enough. Su 2-0 over Neeb. The Immortals just don't care. They blast it down. And Hero here with absolutely incredible PvZ.
Huge stim board and Innovation going to take out Gumiho 2-0. He's going to step forward here. The Immortals able to gun down the tanks right here, right now.
Basically, want to take a look again. The reference is important. You can see it's about an inch.
Now, before the show, you were telling me a little bit about almost like an apprenticeship you went through there. Like, how did you what was the first thing you got to sculpt professionally at McFarlane Toys?
when they started us out, actually, both of us went through. Aaron and I went through this. You didn't get to do the full figure. You'd start off doing like sports figures, little shoes, hockey gloves, little tiny things, and you'd level up once they saw that. Okay, you can do that good. Now can you do the legs of a basketball player? And then what you were getting towards was doing a full figure start to finish, and it was brutal.
It was brutal. I think a lot of artist journeys are kind of brutal, right? Like it's immense. Even though it's fun when you're a kid drawing, developing the skills to this level takes a ton of hours. Laura, how much time do you spend out of work drawing?
Oh, Well, I mean, you do 8 hours a day at work, but other than that, yeah, you kind of have to be a little bit crazy about it. You have to be like, well, I spent 8 hours painting that stuff for work, but I want to go home and I want to paint my own stuff that no one's telling me to do. And in my spare time, I also have learned a lot from these guys and do some sculpture. And it's just fun to learn new things and try out new stuff and just take some risks on your own time.
That's cool. And what are you working on right now? Like, what are you developing?
This is the sort of thing we would create as a piece of concept art for a bust. If we were going to make a little, like this big that we might sell, that one of these guys would make, I'm sort of thinking about a concept design that could fit that and sort of do a little bit of the thought process before these guys would get started on it. So what I'm thinking of.
Hi guys, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
What's your name?
Emma.
Emma, welcome to the stage. What do you most?
Much more impactful is the versatility or the variance you get from how much practice you put in.
Right off the bat, I got to tell you to keep an eye on.
The hearse there. The core is falling, and that is a core falling.
The revenge for SPT to start things off here in Group D is complete, and with a 2-0, my IAD Dread. That was a good start for them.
Up, right? Like last year he won Keswick Cup, this year he won 3 WCS circuits. Did get eliminated here, but I feel like it's kind of funny because
have to figure out how we're going to counter comp against that, and then the original team would go, okay, well now we're just going to play RMD because, well, that's what we wanted to play in the first place. We just wanted you to pick this composition. So definitely going to be really interesting stuff to keep an eye out for there, and we'll be talking to you guys through that all the way. Other bit of housekeeping to take care of. There's a small matter of some prize money on the line here. Just a little bit of change. Actually, it's a fairly substantial amount of change that these teams are fighting over, as well as the chance to, of course, be the BlizzCon champion. Jared, you want to talk us through the prize pool?
Sure, yeah. So I do say that even outside of the prize pool, this is really what every player is going for. They really need to step it up. This is the most important title in World of Warcraft, is to be a BlizzCon champion.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got to look at the prize pool here.
Yep.
That first place prize, that is massive, $120,000. That is a fair chunk of change for playing some World of Warcraft, especially here at BlizzCon. Like, even just the experience is amazing, but you can win 120 grand on top of that. That's awesome. Second place, $50,000. Third and fourth, $25,000. Fifth and sixth are getting $15,000, and then the 7th through 12th place teams will get $5,000. So everybody that's here is walking away with at least a little bit of money. But obviously, if you have the opportunity, maybe right now you're feeling like, oh, maybe we're qualifying for that $5,000 prize. You're certainly going to want to be pushing for that first place prize of $120,000. So let's start talking about this first match that we're going to see here. You guys mentioned earlier it's going to be Splice versus Panda Global. Now, both of these teams at opening week, they felt a little shaky, like they were maybe just tournament jitters or something. Splice came in, they went down 0-2 to start off their series versus Pen and Paper, and then they were able to get the reverse sweep, getting 3 games in a row to be able to take that series. But it was looking really shaky for them for a little while. Panda Global, on the other hand, as well, they've been a really solid team. They were one of our top teams, obviously coming out of the North American region all the way up through regionals. But they've been a little bit shaky at opening week as well. Sid, you want to talk us through this matchup a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Jelly Beans is kind of the rock of their team. He's kind of kept the glue together, even though they became unhinged at the start of their series previous weekend. They got it all together, and Jelly Beans was the glue that did that. So really looking to see how he performs here in this matchup specifically. Can he be that MVP? Do they maybe put him on the bench? Maybe they even try a different composition? I feel like at this point you have to have Jelly Beans in the arena. You're going to be just disadvantaging yourself for no reason. And then on the other side with Splice, it also seemed like they might have out-mind gamed themselves. They wanted to play different setups, constantly changing their comps early on, and then going back to their original one at the start with Thugonomics on Demon Hunter and Chun-Li on Windwalker Monk. So we might see them start off with that. It would be amazing to see Chun-Li, Thugonomics, Novos going up with their Demon Hunter Windwalker, a setup that we don't see. They're basically the only team that play it against Panda Global, which also have some unique compositions as well, but I expect kind of the more classic Thundercleave from them.
Definitely. I think those are all fair expectations. I am also really hoping to see that Demon Hunter Windwalker composition because it's a really, really fun one to watch. Zico, talk us through Panda Global a little bit. What are you sort of expecting to see come out of them here?
So Panda Global have a couple of options. They are a little bit scared of that Windwalker DK, which of course splices the kind of bread and butter composition. But Panda Global they have obviously Jelly Ellie, Thundercleave, which is Ellie, Warrior, Resto Druid, and they also have Feral Druid, Hunter comp with Rubcub switching between that Restoration Shaman as well as that Holy Paladin. They got a bunch of different things that they can bring to the table, and honestly, Panda Global, they have some really, really good compositions. A little bit limited maybe on the healer side as Rubcub doesn't play that Disc Priest, but at the end of the day, they have insanely well played.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel.
Hello, BlizzCon! So, it's such an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in online. Could not be more excited on behalf of the entire Warcraft team to share with you what we've been working on pretty much since the moment Legion came out. The next chapter in World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth. Now, I know every BlizzCon is special, and I'm a bit biased here, but there's something particularly special about WoW expansion announcement BlizzCons. So, this is going to be a good day. So I know you have a lot of questions after what you've seen, and so we're going to try to walk you through a whirlwind tour of more. So without further ado, let me introduce our creative director, Alex Afrasiabi, to tell you about the world of Battle for Azeroth. All right.
Thank you, Ian. Nice shirt. This is the new shirt. Hello, BlizzCon. It's good to see you all again. We are here today to talk about the Battle for Azeroth and prepare you for the coming war. By now, we've all seen that incredible cinematic where from the get-go, battle lines are drawn. And what I like best about that cinematic, and it does so many things so well, is that it reinforces the foundations of Warcraft. Because whether we're fighting the Burning Legion, the Scourge, Old Gods, Dragon Aspects, Elemental Lords, or yes, time-traveling orcs. Our hearts and minds are with our factions. We do what we do in this world, first and foremost, for the Horde and for the Alliance. Not them. And that makes us the champions of Azeroth, the greatest ever known, the world has ever known, and also its biggest threat. But this is WoW. We don't just get to watch awesome cinematics. We get to live them. We get to live them. Because to get to the battle for Azeroth, you're going to have to go through the battle for Lordaeron. The battle for Lordaeron. Like the Broken Shore, we'll pick up where the cinematic left off. And what goes down that day will change Warcraft history forever. Now, some of you might be asking, hey, Alex, why would the Alliance attack the Undercity? It's a good question. Here's a better question. Why would the Horde burn down Teldrassil? Did Teldrassil fall first? Did Teldrassil fall first and lead to the attack on the Undercity? Or was the burning of Teldrassil a response to the bold Alliance attack on Lordaeron? You'll find out. Think about this. The stage is set for an Alliance-controlled Eastern Kingdoms and a Horde-controlled Kalimdor, with one great big sea separating the two continents, which leads us to our search for allies. In our quest for victory, we will seek out the Kultirians as the Alliance and the Zandalari as the Horde. Coincidentally, both of these nations have extremely powerful navies, which we're going to need to span that great sea. Let me leave you with this thought. No boats. Some boats. Let me leave you with this thought. No matter who fired the first shot, we are in an all-out war. It's our duty as Alliance. That's right. As Horde. To defend our people, our families, and our homes. This is the battle for Azeroth. So to recap, the Alliance and the Horde are in an all-out war. Old hatreds have reignited as both factions strike at each other's hearts. Now, with the world divided, we seek out lost territories and new powerful resources. And with no external threats, we turn our fury on each other. We fight for our faction's survival and our place in this world. And to win this war, we're gonna need all the help we can get, which leads us to find new and old allies alike. And that takes us to Kultiris and Zandalar, which opens up 2 new continents to the game, which we're gonna take a look at right now. Woo! All right, starting with Kultiris for the Alliance. Kultiris was founded 3,000 years ago when a group of Gilneans left the old empire to explore the Great Sea. They came upon this cold, mountainous island, rich in natural resources, and decided to settle in. And over the course of the next 2,500 years, the Kultirians built the most powerful navy on Azeroth. A navy that the Alliance really, really wants. Today, Kultiris is ruled by 4 houses, which we'll find out are in a bit of trouble. And before we're going to get the Kulturians to join our side, we're going to need to help them with their problems. Lastly, Kulturians is broken up into 3 main regions. We've got Tiergard Sound in the middle, the Drusvar in the southwest, and Stormsong Valley in the north. Let's take a look at the zones of Kulturians. All right, first up, we've got Tiergard Sound. So Tiergard Sound sits on an inlet in the middle of the continent, and it connects the Great Sea. It's the main connection point for all of the different zones. Now, within Tiergard, we'll find the capital city of Kulturians, Borealis. This will also be the Alliance's main base of operations in the battle for Azeroth, so this will be your hub. Now, I mentioned that Kulturians was ruled by 4 houses. When we get to Tiergard, we'll meet the first of these houses, led by a familiar name, Proudmoore. Meet Catherine Proudmoore, everybody. This is Jaina's mother, and I want to go on record here and just head this off. She is 100% not a dreadlord. Not. Now, Kulturians by nature are monster hunters, specifically big, nasty sea monsters, which has led to a much hardier breed of human, like these big fellas over here. And I also mentioned that the zones each have their own problems. Well, in Tiergard, one of the problems has to do with pirates. Normally, the outlaws of Kulturians hang out at the pirate city of Freehold. But in recent months, they've gotten a little bold and have started to attack Tiergard Sound. And we're going to need to have to deal with that. Now, who wants to see a video? Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Tiergard Sound. Woo! Moving on to Drusvar. There's a Q&A tomorrow. You can ask your questions there. Moving on to Drusvar. Drusvar is a forested, mountainous region that's located in the southwest part of Kulturians. Lord and Lady Waycrest govern this region, but in recent months, they've been suspiciously absent from public affairs. And this has been a huge cause for concern for the people that call this place their home. Now, this absence has also put a stop to the main contribution that Drusvar makes to Kulturians: arms and sausages. I'm honestly not sure what's worse. It feels like sausages is worse. Now, as we're exploring Drusvar and trying to uncover the mystery of the missing Waycrests and restore order and sausages, we'll find that the land is cursed. And you can start that story today on the show floor with a Drusvar playable demo. So after we're done here, make sure to get out there and give it a go. Let's take a look at a video for Drusvar. Last up in Kultiris, we've got Stormsong Valley. Now, unlike Tiergard Sound and Drusvar, Stormsong Valley is lush, green, and beautiful. The area is ruled by House Stormsong, and the people of this region are devoted to the sea with a fanatical religious fervor. Now, they're led by a group known as Sea Priests. It's through Stormsong and the Sea Priests that the mighty Kultiran Navy is built. Every ship, every piece that goes into every ship must first be blessed by the Sea Priests before the vessels are deemed seaworthy. They take their shipbuilding really seriously here. Now, when we get to Stormsong, we'll find that shipbuilding operations have come to a stop as ancient dark forces are attacking from the sea. And quillbores. Lots and lots of quillbores. Let's take a look at a video of Stormsong Valley. All right. Beautiful. All right, so we've gotten a glimpse into the areas and zones of Kultiris. Let's switch gears and take a look at Zandalar for the Horde. Woo! So, without a doubt, troll civilizations are some of the oldest on Azeroth. And the Zandalari Empire is no exception, having been formed some 16,000 years ago. Now, the island we know as Zandalar today was actually once a landlocked mountain range, but the Sundering changed all of that when the mountains and most of the empire sank into the sea. But trolls are a hardy and resourceful race. They adapted to island life and over thousands of years mastered the seas. Today, the Zandalari have a navy that rivals, if not surpasses, the Kultirans, which makes them a very attractive ally to the Horde in this battle for Azeroth. But when we arrive there, we'll find that things are not going great for the Zandalari. And before we can get them to join us, we're going to need to restore some order. Like Kultiris, Zandalar is broken up into three main regions. We've got Zuldazar in the south, the Swamp of Nazmir in the northeast, and the Desert of Vol'dun in the northwest. Let's take a look at the zones of Zandalar. All right, so starting with Zuldazar itself. Zuldazar is the capital city of the Zandalari and also the only safe refuge the Zandalari trolls have in this region. They're being attacked not just from outside their borders, but from within. This will also be the capital of the Horde in this expansion as they try to keep this empire from falling apart. Now, when we first arrive at Zuldazar, we will meet King Rastakhan and his daughter, the mighty Princess Talanji. And with Talanji, we will explore and investigate a potential uprising from within Capital City. And if that weren't bad enough, Blood Troll invaders from the north, from the swamps of Nazmir, are hammering the borders of Zuldazar, making things really hard for the Zandalari. Let's take a look at a video of Zuldazar. Epic. Videos are nice, but they don't even do the actual zone justice. Once you get in there, it's amazing. Okay, on to one of my favorite zones, Nazmir. Now, before the Cataclysm, Nazmir was a lush forest. But when Deathwing broke the world, he shook something loose, and Nazmir started sinking into the sea. Today, it's a wretched, festering swamp, which turns out is the perfect environment for blood trolls to thrive in. The same blood trolls attacking Zulazar today. Now, to defeat these blood trolls, we are going to need to enlist the aid of powerful Loa. Now, for those of you that don't know, Loa are basically gods to the trolls. Up there, we've got one Samdi, who some of you may know, and Kragwa, the frog Loa, who you'll definitely want to know if you want that sweet frog mount. I know you do. I know you do. Now, as we're digging through the muck in Nazmir, we will uncover ancient Titan secrets and a Titan facility. And inside that facility, there might hold the key to destroying all life on Azeroth, which clearly we do not want. And I hope the Alliance is paying attention here. There are things you're going to need to do as well. And you know what's awesome? Nazmir is playable today on the show floor. So, how'd that get in there? Chris Metzen, good Lord. So, let's take a look at a video of Nazmir. Yeah. All right, last up for Zandalar, we've got the Desert of Vol'dun. Would you believe that Vol'dun was once a vibrant jungle? You probably believe that, it's totally plausible. But all of that changed when the Akir, this mighty, savage group of old god minions, attacked this region thousands of years ago, leaving nothing but desert and ruin in their wake. So, what do the Zandalari do with an uninhabitable desert? Well, they use it to basically send off their criminals to. And most of them die. Most of them. Now, as... Yes, indeed. As they're even cuter in person. As we explore Vol'dun, we will come across a native race of fox people known as the Volpera, who I know we will be compelled to help because of just how cute and cuddly they are. Just want to eat them up. And Vol'dun's got its share of baddies as well, like these snake men, the Sethrak, who will make sure that your stay here is unpleasant. Let's take a look at a video of Vol'dun. In Legion, we did the character story for Illidan, and we really liked how that turned out across the patches. And which, by the way, it's not quite done yet. It'll get there pretty soon. So for Battle for Azeroth, we want to do a lot more of that. We want to involve more characters. So we want to follow the lives of Anduin, the Lion of Stormwind, and Sylvanas as they lead their people through this war. And of course, we're going to adventure with Jaina as she goes to her homeland, Kul Tiras. We'll find out where she's been, because I know you're all asking. Where she is at today, and most importantly, where she's going. What about Thrall? Where is the orc that founded this new horde? What's his place in all of this? And lastly, we're not going to go to the cradle of troll civilization without exploring the story of our favorite troll, Vol'jin. Thank you, everyone. You've been an amazing audience. Ian's up next.
We told you we'd get back to Vol'jin. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so you have just heard all about the world that you're going to be exploring. Let me start talking a bit about how you're going to be exploring it. So just some of the basics first. So as Alex mentioned, we have 6 zones spanning 2 continents. 3 on Kul Tiras, 3 on Zandalar. And because of the nature of the story here, the way you're going to level up, Alliance players will head off to Tiragard initially, Horde players will head off to Zuldazar, and you will level to 120 primarily in your own faction's continent as you learn to understand their problems and solve those problems. We're still going to have the scaling zone tech we had in Legion, so you can pick which of the 3 zones you want to start in, which problem you want to solve first, play your way through those content as you prefer. Now, at max level, the entire world will open up to you, effectively doubling the amount of outdoor space that you'll be actively engaged in when you are 120. Now, it might be easy to lose track as you solve those problems. We're still going to have the scaling zone tech we had in Legion, so you can pick which of the 3 zones you want to start in, which problem you want to solve first, play your way through those content as you prefer. Now, at max level, the entire world will open up to you, effectively doubling the amount of outdoor space that you'll be actively engaged in when you are 120. Now, it might be easy to lose track as you are dealing with the problems of the Kul Tirans and of the Zandalari. It might be easy to lose track of the larger conflict in which Azeroth as a whole is embroiled. And so just as we had the Garrison campaign in Warlords and the Class Order campaign in Legion, we have 2 epic Alliance and Horde war campaign arcs that will weave their way throughout the level up experience and beyond, anchoring you in the larger war consuming the world, as well as beginning to lead you to the opposite faction's lands. So you'll start to build up some outposts in Kul Tiras as a Horde player. You'll start to build up some outposts in Zandalar as an Alliance player that will set the stage for the eventual 120 experience when it all opens up. Now, at max level, there will be world quests, there will be emissaries. We're very happy with how this has played out in Legion. We want to continue to build upon it, refine it, learn from what's worked, what hasn't, but that structure is here to stay. Now, let's start talking a little bit about features. So, allied races. So, as we've heard, the lines of battle here have been drawn. It's hard to remain neutral in Azeroth going forward. Alliance and Horde are looking for all the help they can get. And part of what that means is seeking out potential allies, turning to friends that we've been through great hardship together, and seeing if they will join our cause. And you, as a champion of the Alliance or champion of the Horde, are going to be one of those doing that. You will reach out to these allies, see what other problems they have, see if they will join the Alliance, see if they will join the Horde, playing through custom quest content that tells the story of how Thalyssra and the Nightborn come to join the Horde, or how Ilaria and the crack elite squad of elves that she has trained to harness the power of the void come to make their home in the Alliance, hardening the rift between her and her sister. You will play through those quests, and once you do, you will unlock the ability to make that allied race as a new character across your account. So unlike traditional races where you just buy the expansion, you can make them right away, this is something that has much more story context to it. This is something that will be earned. We need to tell the story to explain why these races came into the faction, and it's up to you to make it happen. Now, allied races, like regular races, have new racials that are appropriately flavorful for where they're coming from, varied customization as makes sense for what the race is. Lightforged Draenei have various holy markings across their body that you can customize. Lots of facial hair options, of course, for the Dark Iron Dwarves with their ember-flecked beards from their time by the Forge. But one difference is that allied races actually begin at level 20. They're a bit more advanced, and we know that if you're playing one, you're a bit more advanced as a player. You're already established in World of Warcraft. So you will start off venturing to Stormwind, venturing to Orgrimmar as a fledgling member of your race, looking to aid your new allies. You'll adventure throughout the world, do what you can on their behalf, and eventually make your way to join the front of battle at max level. Now, you can race change if you want once you've unlocked them. You can boost an allied race. We don't want to limit those options. If you've played, let's say, a Dwarven Paladin for years, but in your heart of hearts you've always wished you could be a Dark Iron Dwarven Paladin, we don't want to make you make a new character or abandon your main to make that happen. But at the same time, we also want to make sure it doesn't feel like that's the right or only or efficient way to do this. So if you level an allied race from 20 all the way to max, you will unlock a set of heritage armor, a cosmetic appearance that reflects the essence of what it means to be a Nightborn Elf or a Dark Iron Dwarf that you can show off so that everyone who sees you understands what you've done. So just to sum up here, we have six allied races coming with Battle for Azeroth, but this is a system that's a foundation upon which we can continue to build in the future. Azeroth is full of countless potential allies, and we can use all the help we can get. So we're very excited about this as a starting point for something greater to come. And so for Horde, you will be turning to the Nightborn in the High Mountain with whom you fought and whom you aided in the Broken Isles, as well as, if you are successful in your journey on Zandalar, the Zandalari Trolls. Meanwhile, the Alliance find fast new allies among the forces of Argus, the Lightforged Draenei, the Void Elves under Alaria's tutelage, and it will work with Moira to rekindle and bring the Dark Iron Dwarves into the Alliance formally. So I know you caught a quick glimpse of these allied races during the feature reveal, but let's take a much closer look. Check out this video. So, pretty cool. One nice thing about the cosmetic armor sets, and you saw all those heritage armor sets in that video, is as cosmetic transmog appearances, these are universal. So if you, for example, played a Dwarven caster and always wished you could have a more battle mage type look, doesn't matter if you wear cloth, you can still transmog it to look like that dark runic male and show that off. So now, I just mentioned that we are inviting players to journey through Azeroth once again, to start off with these allied races at level 20 and explore. Now, if you've done something like that recently, you've probably noticed the experience is kind of rough around the edges. Now, the content, the world, the stories, those hold up. Those are great. There's humor, there's life there. But the pacing of the experience is all off. If you're trying to play through, let's say, Hillsbrad, you'll quickly find that about halfway through the zone, a lot of the quests in your log are turning green or even gray. On the one hand, all the mechanics of the game are telling you to get out of there, to move along for better rewards, more experience, a place where you belong, while the story is telling you to stay because you want to see what happens next. We want to solve that. Now, in Legion, during the level up experience, we introduced the concept of scaling zones, and that allowed players to pick and choose their way through that experience. So, you have it figured out. I don't even need to give this presentation. But no, you can see where this is going. So we are looking to take that tech and expand it to the entirety of World of Warcraft. Yeah, we are super excited about this too. There'll be a couple of little differences in how it plays out here versus how it did in Legion. So first off, we don't want Westfall to scale all the way up to, let's say, level 110. So within these regions, there are level ranges with minimums and maximum levels for two reasons. If you are a brand new undead, you're a Forsaken starting off in Tirisfal Glades, we think it's important that when you look eastward towards the Plaguelands, there's a little bit of terror there. That's a scary, dangerous place. You're not strong enough to go there. And if you try, Welcome Bear will come out and hug you, and then you'll be back at your graveyard. And that's how it works. On the other hand, if you're a seasoned adventurer returning from a campaign in Northrend, and you come back to Elwyn Forest and find that the wolves and the bandits there are now still an even match for you, that kind of undermines your progression. So we're thinking about a structure more like, imagine Westfall scales from 10 to 60, imagine Burning Steppe scales from 40 to 60. You're never going to out-level the zone while you're in it, but there's still some sense of progression, and once you've moved past the entire expansion, you do feel like you have surpassed it and you are more powerful. Now, speaking of expansions, we'd also like to take a step back from just zone choice and think about how you navigate expansions in the course of leveling up. So if you've leveled alts recently, you know the drill. You hit 58, you go to Hellfire Peninsula, you maybe do a zone and a half or so, depending on how many dungeons you're doing. Then it's off to Northrend. Well, what if you could choose? What if Burning Crusade content scaled all the way from 60 to 80? It's pretty self-explanatory. BC 60 to 80, Wrath 60 to 80. Similarly, Kata 80 to 90, Mists 80 to 90. You can pick one expansion, do most of its content if you want. You can bounce back and forth between the two. It's flexible. The point is player choice. The point is having the experience that you want to have as you're leveling through WoW. And yes, this applies to dungeons. It applies to all the rewards along the way. So yeah, it's awesome to hear the excitement. We are every bit as excited about this. And because it's something that really it's not really an expansion feature, it's just a basic improvement to the game, we want to get this in your hands sooner. So, you may have noticed the patch that just went live was 7.3.2. That was a small infrastructure thing. We have a proper 7.3.5 around the corner. It'll be coming to PTR in just a few weeks, and you will be able to see the beginnings of many of these improvements there. We can't wait to hear your feedback. We want to get this in your hands ASAP. All right. Now, an all-new feature. Wasn't mentioned in the features trailer. So, the battle for Azeroth is a battle between the Alliance and Horde for control of our world, but it's also a battle in which we will all be asked to stand up to safeguard our world. We will need to fight for its survival. And in the aftermath of the Legion's attack, our world is actually direly wounded. And Magni, speaker for Azeroth, speaker for her world soul, will reach out to us as some of her greatest champions and summon us, where we will commune with the world soul at the very beginning of our journey, and we will receive a gift from Azeroth herself. An artifact-quality medallion called the Heart of Azeroth. Now, your artifact weapons that you currently wield, those will be consigned to history. They will go out in, you know, they will receive a proper send-off. That story has yet to be told, but we'll get there. But your companion in your journeys throughout the battle for Azeroth will be this medallion known as the Heart of Azeroth. And as Azeroth herself suffers, as she bleeds, her life essence actually seeps out throughout the world. It's incredibly powerful. It's a substance known as azurite. And the unique property of this medallion is that when you encounter azurite, when you come across it, a portion of that power will be reabsorbed, reconstituted into this medallion, into this Heart of Azeroth. Now, unlike the artifact weapons that you wielded in Legion, this artifact isn't something you're going to customize, doesn't have a huge trait tree to it. But what it does do is it serves as an incredibly potent power source that will unlock latent properties in many of the pieces of armor that you're going to come across and acquire throughout your journeys. So we're going to talk a lot more about this system in detail right back here at 4 o'clock in our gameplay and systems deep dive. But let me give you a quick overview, and then Russ Peterson and others on the team will dive much more deeply at that point. So this is some early UI concept art for how this might play out. Here you see a helmet, and these concentric circles each reflect tiers of powers, where you can choose one tier from each ring, one power from each ring. And your ability to access these tiers, to unlock them, will depend on how strong your amulet is. A stronger helmet will require more levels in your amulet to equip, to access. But basically, when we looked at the artifact system, there were a lot of elements of progression that worked very well. There were others, such as making hard choices between empowering one specs weapon versus another, that weren't so great. Or lots of the inventory clutter, things like that. We're looking to improve a lot of the aspects of the system. We also want to give ongoing options for choice and customization, rather than the artifact weapon system where you made tons of choices back in September when you were first filling out the tree, but it's been largely linear progression since then. In this world, each piece of armor, in a handful of slots that we select, we currently have 3 in mind, will offer a potential for customization and choice in a handcrafted way. These are not random traits, unlike the Netherlight Crucible. A helm is a helm is a helm, and you can pick what you want to suit your playstyle, to suit your needs as you progress through the world. Again, more about this later. Now, islands. Island expeditions. So many of you may have been wondering as you saw the feature trailer, when you saw, plunder uncharted isles, you're probably wondering to yourself, what is an island? Well, an island is a body of land surrounded on all sides by water. Moving on. Okay, so island expeditions. Island expeditions have you exploring uncharted isles scattered across the Great Sea. As we've mentioned, Alliance and Horde are locked in this stalemate, and they're seeking all the aid they can get. And there's all this unexplored land, with reports of azurite, this substance I mentioned earlier, bubbling to the surface, as well as other unclaimed resources that could aid the war on the home front. And so Alliance and Horde are both sending their scouts out to scour the sea in search of these locations. And that will naturally lead to the Horde and Alliance coming into conflict in the New World over these small pieces of territory as they each try to claim these resources and take them back home to fuel the war. Now, what does that mean for you, the player? So island expeditions are 3-player cooperative gameplay, role agnostic, and they are a culmination and a reflection of lessons that we have learned throughout many years of developing content, many expansions worth of content development, ranging from Mists of Pandaria scenarios to scaling difficulty in Mythic Keystone dungeons, to randomization and variability of world quest spawning, and more. The theme here is one of exploration, of when you set out for an island, when you set out to an island, you don't know exactly what you're going to find, even if you've been to that island before. On one visit, a given island might be occupied by a settlement of trolls. Some are peaceful, and if you work with them and perform quests for them and solve their problems, they will give you some of their stores. Others are hostile. You might return another time and find that an ancient curse has wiped out life on the island, and undead are rising from their graves, and there are crypts for you to explore. Yet another time, a band of marauding Mogu might have come from Pandaria, taken over the island themselves, and set up shop. in all of these cases, you're going to find different friends, different enemies, different challenges, different events, different objectives. It's going to be one of the most, if not the most, variable, dynamic, replayable experiences we've ever offered in World of Warcraft. And to add another layer of dynamic gameplay here, again, as I mentioned, this is about Horde and Alliance skirmishing. And so, as you and your 2 allies roll up in a Horde ship, you will also find that shortly thereafter, 3 agents of the Alliance have arrived. And now, these are NPCs, but they are not any NPCs that you've ever seen before. They're not just looking to run up to you and punch you or cast fireballs at you. They're not like scripted boss encounters. They're a bit smarter than that. They'll behave strategically, they'll behave tactically, to complete objectives on the island and to thwart you as you try to do that as well. So even if you were on the exact same island, it still wouldn't play out the same way twice because you're contending with variable opposing forces and having to deal with them the whole way through. And finally, if you want to match wits against 3 other players, you can do that too. And so these island expeditions can create an all-new type of PvPvE gameplay where you are completing objectives, racing against enemy players to do so, and killing each other where it makes sense. All right, so on the other end of the spectrum, from island expeditions are small-scale skirmish in the New World. Warfronts tell the story of large-scale battles back on the home front. This is the battle for Azeroth between the Alliance and the Horde. This is what all the resources are for. This is what the alliances are for. This is the fight that we need to win. And what does large-scale battle mean for us? Well, we have so much fantasy to draw upon here, going all the way back to the real-time strategy roots of the franchise, going back to Warcraft 2, going back to Warcraft 3. Let me give you this hypothetical fact pattern. You are the commander of an Alliance expeditionary force tasked with landing in enemy-controlled lands. Secure an outpost, build it up, secure supply lines, protect them, build up your base, upgrade your buildings, train troops, and then lead them out into enemy territory, eventually sieging and overwhelming the enemy fortification and crushing them. I just described about 2/3 of all Warcraft campaign maps right there. Well, this is World of Warcraft, and let's put you in that experience. This isn't an RTS. This is you as a champion on the front lines, playing out that fantasy, living that experience. What does this mean? A Warfront is a 20-player cooperative raid as you join Alliance force, as you join a Horde force, to build up a base and take on a vast enemy entrenched, led by a powerful commander. And what you will do along the way is gather resources, build structures, decide whether you want a barracks or a stables collectively, upgrade those things, train troops, upgrade your troops, and lead those troops into battle to claim ultimate victory on behalf of your faction. Now, both Islands and Warfronts, I've just given you a quick high-level overview, but again, at 4 p.m., right back here in our gameplay and systems deep dive, we'll be talking a lot more about both of these features. Okay. Now, the last couple of features I've talked about are primarily PvE features against large NPC armies. Battle for Azeroth is also going to be a great expansion for those of you who love PvP. So first off, we're adding a couple new arenas. We have a new arena coming in Kultiris, a new arena in Zandalar, capturing, you had to adapt, you had to keep on the move. Here's a quick look at the layout from an internal sketch of this battleground. Each of those crystal nodes you see on the map is a potential point where an Azerite fusion could occur. I think there's about 3 active at a given time. So as you're skirmishing over control of one, you might see the one has popped up on the other side of the map. You have to make a choice between how many people you're going to keep to try to contest the current one versus who's going to break off and try to claim the new one. Very fast-paced action, keep you on your toes. We're really excited about this. And it's actually part of the story that we're telling. It's part of the events that will lead up to Battle for Azeroth. So as such, we also want to get this in your hands a bit before Battle for Azeroth itself. So keep an eye on the PTR, and we want to get this coming your way soon. We're also going to continue to expand upon successful systems like the PvP brawls. We want to keep adding new ones. All of those things are here to stay. But that's instance PvP. I know there are many of you for whom world PvP is what you're all about. Whether it was 13 years ago ganking noobs in Stranglethorn Vale, making people switch to their mains to come get you, or just being a terror of World Quest areas today, it's the thing that you love. And you might feel like it hasn't been treated with the respect it deserves over the years. We agree. In a lot of ways, our PvP rule set for World PvP hasn't really changed since 2005. I guess we got rid of dishonorable kills about 10 years ago. So we should bring them back. No. But the way in which you play the game has changed tremendously. Over the years, server transfers opened up. People want to move around to play with their friends, to find new guilds. As it turns out, most people prefer to transfer to servers where their faction is already dominant, leading to more and more lopsided populations. Ease of travel around the world and power scaling have changed significantly. You could be trying to fight someone, and they could, CC you, get away, mount up, fly away. You never see them again. And much more recently, we have cross-realm gameplay. You might join a World Quest group in the pre-made group finder, and even though you're on a PvP server, you could join the group and suddenly find that you're surrounded by orange names because you just landed on a PvE realm, or vice versa. In a lot of ways, our rule set doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense for the way the game is right now and how people play the game. That's something we'd like to re-examine. And so I think there's two audiences that we're thinking of as we approach these changes. First off, there are likely many of you in the audience and watching at home who play on PvP servers today, but it's not really the gameplay you're looking for. You're there because that's where your friends wanted to be. That's where you ended up many years ago. You don't want to pay money for a server transfer. You don't want to leave your friends to change that. But you might be actually sitting here hearing about and thinking about this expansion we're talking about, where you'll be venturing into enemy-controlled lands with a bit of trepidation, thinking, that sounds actually pretty frustrating. On the other end of the spectrum, there are those of you who love World PvP and feel like, exactly, and feel like that's part of what makes World of Warcraft, and you want more of it. You want it to be more balanced, you want it to be more interesting, and you want it to occur more organically. We agree. So the core of the changes we're looking at are actually, first and foremost, getting rid of this arbitrary division between PvP and PvE server rule sets, where you're locked in permanently on a given server, and unless you transfer and leave your friends, you can't change that. We want to make this an individual toggle, unifying our servers into a single rule set. So when you are in Stormwind, you're in Orgrimmar, you're in Dalaran, you can choose whether you want to PvP flag, you want to opt into PvP, or not. And if you do, when you venture out into the world, you'll basically be on a PvP server, the PvP rule set, with other people who've also opted into that gameplay. And if you don't want to, don't. What this lets us do, on the one hand, people who feel trapped on PvP servers now have an easy way out. On the other hand, we have a foundation upon which we can build a new generation of world PvP content. In the past, whenever internally we would think about and debate ideas for really cool world PvP stuff, it always ran into this roadblock of, well, what does that mean if you're on a PvE server? Does that just mean that half of the players of our game can't access that content meaningfully? And that always felt like a really large stumbling block. We could create all new content, whether it's bounty hunting quests or quests that send you to assassinate high-value targets in enemy territory, and encourage some of that organic conflict and reward it in a way that we never could before. Now, also, we realize you may be hearing this and thinking, well, why would I ever activate PvP just to go out and do my world quests? That feel like this is probably just going to be a bunch of people deathmatching across our zones, turning them into giant arenas. And that's not actually what World PvP is about, right? World PvP is that organic encounter that occurs. And so in order to offset that inefficiency, we do want to offer some bonuses to something like experience gain, reputation gain, where it makes sense for questing with PvP mode enabled. The point of this is not to make this feel like the right or the only way to play if you don't like PvP, but rather to make it feel like it's worth your time if you do. Play the way you want to play. We'll have a lot more to talk about this in the future, but the aim of these changes is to build a foundation upon which we can make World PvP great again. So changing gears a bit, dungeons. So we have 10 dungeons coming your way in Battle for Azeroth. Like zones, each faction will have separate level up dungeons associated with your continent, 4 in Kultiras, 4 in Zandalar, and then all 10 open up when you hit max level, and you gain some new motivations to go into some of those places. On the system side, Mythic Keystones also here to stay. We want to provide better support for that system. We'll be designing more of our dungeons with full knowledge of what this system entails. We also want to provide UI improvements, so it's easier to form and find Mythic Keystone groups. If you're just looking for a 10, but you don't care what map it is, you should be able to search for that much more easily. Things like that. But refinements, just building upon a system that we've heard fantastic feedback from the community about. We love this as really making dungeons a continued part of the endgame. Let's talk about some specific dungeons. First off, Freehold. Freehold is located in Tiragard Sound. This is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It is full of brigands and outlaws and cut purses, and you're going to have to go through this place if you want to put a stop to some of the problems that Kultiras is facing. Let's take a look at a video of Freehold. Yeah, that was an ogre with a shark for its arm, but OK. On the other continent, we have a dungeon known as Atal Dazar. This is a tomb of ancient Zandalari kings located in the zone of Zuldazar. But there are dark forces present here. Trolls conducting horrible rituals, dinosaurs, undead dinosaurs, and all sorts of other threats. Let's take a look at a video for this dungeon. So both of those dungeons are also fully playable here on the show floor today for a total of 4 separate experiences. Alliance questing, Horde questing, Alliance dungeon, Horde dungeon. Grab 4 friends, make some new ones, check out the dungeons. We can't wait to hear your feedback. So other dungeons, as I mentioned, there's 10. I'm not going to talk about these in great detail, but these are scattered across the new lands. Special call out to the Shrine of the Storm. This is a dungeon in Stormsong Valley. If you want to see a bit more behind the scenes boss design for this dungeon, check out our boss design panel tomorrow afternoon on the Legendary stage, and you can see our encounter team design out one of the bosses in this dungeon live. The very bottom of this list is also a place that's not in Kultiras and not in Zandalar, Kazan. Now, this is a favorite location of ours we've wanted to revisit for some time. Knowing goblins, if you do, you might not be surprised to hear that once word spread of this substance known as azurite, they immediately set out to dig and dig and dig and see what they could uncover to control it for themselves. And who knows what else they found in the process. Should be a fun trip. Now, moving on to raids. Quickly here, since I don't want to go in too much detail into the nature of this raid, because it's hard to do without tremendously spoiling pretty much the whole story of Zandalar, and I don't want to deprive anybody of the experience of learning what happens as intended through data mine broadcast text. But this raid is the Titan facility Alex mentioned earlier, located in Nazmir, known as Uldir Halls of Control. It was once a Titan, effectively a laboratory, a quarantine facility, where they aimed to analyze and try to understand the nature of their ancient enemy, the Old Gods. It didn't go so well. This place has been shut down, sealed away for thousands of years until now. And we'll have to go in there to face off against the source of Zandalar's corruption. Inside, we'll see a new spin on some Titan architecture, as you see in a concept from one of our dungeon artists here. We'll be facing off against all manner of delightfully slimy foes. This little tiny person, sorry, tank. At least it doesn't have ankles for you to look at. You'll be looking at a belly. Now, this is the first raid. This is the High Mall. This is the Emerald Nightmare of this expansion. Now, following this, and I'm going to say even less about this raid, it might have occurred to you when Alex was up here earlier talking about the dark threats from the sea plaguing Kultiris. Well, we know a couple of dark threats from the sea, don't we? There are some that we have heard a lot from in Legion. You know, some Tidestone-related stuff. And so, yes, before all is said and done in Battle for Azeroth, we'll be facing off Queen Ashara, against Queen Ashara. So lots more story to tell on that front. And yes. And so the stage is set for the Battle for Azeroth. We have Crimson Red continent in the west, Royal Blue in the east, and a vast expanse of ocean in between. We, as champions of the Alliance and the Horde, will set out to explore islands, battle on warfronts, and uncover mysteries that threaten to undermine the very world beneath our feet. Because at the end of the day, does it matter who wins the Battle for Azeroth if there's nothing left for the victor to claim? So thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for joining us for the beginning of this adventure. It's always a joy. We have so much more information to share over the course of the afternoon here at BlizzCon, starting in just a few hours right back here on this stage. And if you have any questions about what you've heard, submit those questions up at the Darkmoon Fair or online for our Q&A tomorrow afternoon, focused exclusively on Battle for Azeroth content and what lies ahead. Also check out our art panel and Legendary stage tomorrow, and so much more. Thank you so, so much. Welcome to BlizzCon. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you for attending the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. Up next, the Hearthstone What's Next panel.
The main base, perhaps looking for the snipe on the Ultralisk Cavern. Some lanes respond, but it's not enough, and a laser realizes that too, has to pull back his entire army.
He is just everywhere at once, even trying to take down the Ultralisk Cavern. Can't quite get it, but we can't count a laser out quite yet. He's making Festers, he's making Ultralisks, and these two units together, well, they can really kill a Terran army if you mess up at all.
Yeah, and certainly we've seen Special have one or two moments where certainly a laser got his worth. The fungal growths could happen again, but I think Special's now going to be a little more on point about his scans. He has extra bases now. Another planetary, I believe, being put down in the main. Actually, though, that's his main being put down on the front side. So if he ever loses momentum, that is going to be vulnerable, but I don't think he's going to be losing that anytime soon. A blinding cloud goes down, but the army is not getting fungled. Where are the infestors? A huge concave again against the Ultras. They're trying their best, but it's not enough.
Oh, and GG is called. Special takes the lead for the first time in the series, up 2-1.
He got to really highlight his micro and multitasking in that game. The Liberators actually being microed is already an amazing feat, but then on top of that, his army control was good at the end there. You saw how awesome it was, and he had drops going down as well. Special, truly a Terran to be reckoned with.
Oh, seriously, you know, you talk about his micro, his multitasking, and both were fantastic, but let's not forget these well-placed missile turrets and Marines spotting the bailing drops, not allowing a laser to do any damage to him. And, you know, we so often talk about the Korean Terrans, but for as long as I've known Special, he has modeled himself after them. He has worked on his speed. He has worked on the multitasking, on these top-end strategies. And I think looking at him here today, that is obvious.
Exactly. If you just take away the names and just watch that game, I'm thinking, you're probably thinking like Innovation, TY, maybe Maru, you know. He's just looking very good. Perhaps the time in Korea was what did the magic. Maybe it's just his time to shine, but a laser simply has to do better in the macro game. He definitely fell pretty early on in that game and never gained back his